Out of here!
My Betty!
Out of my sight! Out of my... Oh my God. Oh, God, help me. Oh, Betty. Child, dear child, will you wake? Will you open your eyes? Oh, Betty, little one.
Uncle, Susanna Walcott's here from Dr. Grace.
Oh, let her come, let her come.
Come in, Susanna.
What does the doctor say, child?
He bid me come and tell you, Reverend Sir, that he cannot discover no medicine for it in his books.
Then you must search on.
Aye, sir. He been searching in his books since he left you, sir. But he bid me come and tell you that you might want to look to unnatural things for the cause of it.
No. No, there'll be no unnatural cause here. Tell him that I've sent for Reverend Hale of Beverley. He will come and he will surely confirm that. Let him look to medicine and rule out all thought of unnatural cause here. There be none.
Aye, sir. I pray for her.
Speak nothing of it in the village, Susanna.
Go directly home and speak nothing of unnatural causes.
Aye, sir. I pray for her.
Uncle, the rumour of witchcraft's all about. I think you best go down and deny it yourself. The parlour's packed with people, sir. I'll sit with her.
And what shall I say to them? That my daughter and my nieces I discovered dancing like heathen in the forest.
Uncle, we did dance. Let you tell them I confessed it and I'll be whipped if I must be. But they're speaking of witchcraft. Betty's not a witch.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know you have not opened with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle. And when you leapt out of the bush so suddenly, Betty was frightened and then she fainted. And there's the whole of it.
Child, sit you down.
I would never hurt Betty. I love her dearly.
Now look, you child, your punishment will come in its time. But if you trafficked with the spirits, I must know it now. For surely my enemies will, and they will ruin me with it.
But we never conjured spirits.
Then why can she not move herself since midnight? This child is desperate. It must come out. My enemies will bring it out. Let me know what you've done here. Abigail, do you understand? I have many enemies.
I have heard of it, Uncle.
And that there is a faction that has sworn to drive me from my pulpits. Do you understand
I
that?
think so, sir.
Now then, in the midst of such disruption, I discover my own household to be the very centre of some obscene practice. Abominations are done in the forest.
Your sport, Uncle.
Do you call this sport? Now tell me true, Abigail, and I pray you feel the weight of truth upon you now. For now my ministry is at stake. My ministry and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abominations you have done, give me all of it now. For I dare not to be taken unaware when I go before them down there.
There's nothing more. I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, I've fought here 3 long years to bend these stiff-necked people to me. And now, just now, when some good respect starts to rise for me in the parish, you decide to compromise my very character. I've given you a home, child. I've put clothes on your back. Now give me an upright answer. Your name in the town, it is entirely white, is it not?
Why, I'm sure it is, sir. There be no blush about my name.
And is there any other cause that you have told me for your being discharged from your proctor service? I've heard it said, and I tell you as I hear it. For she comes so early to church this year, and she would not sit so close to something soiled. What signified that remark?
She hates me, Uncle. She must, for I would not be her slave. It is a bitter woman. A lying, cold, snivelling woman, and I'll not work for such a woman.
She may be. But it concerns me that you are now 7 months out her household. And in all that time, no other family has ever thought of taking you on your service.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I will not black my face for any of them. Do you begrudge my bed, Uncle?
No. No.
My name is good in the village. I'll not have it said that my name is soiled. Goody Proctor is a gossiping liar.
No, I cannot have... Ah, Mrs. Putnam. Good morning.
It's a marvel. It's surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Lady Putnam, it is not.
How high did she fly? How high?
No, she never flew.
Why, sure she did. Mr. Collins saw her going up over Ingersoll's barn. Come down lights of her, he says.
Now look you, Goody Putnam, she never... Oh, Mr. Putnam, good morning.
It is a providence. The thing is out now. It is a providence.
What's out, sir? What's out?
Why? Her eyes is closed. Look you, Anne.
Why, that's strange. Ours is open.
Your Ruth is sick?
I'd not call it sick, Mr. Paris. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know. It's death driving into them, forked and hooved.
Oh, pray not. Why, how does Ruth ail?
She ails as she must. But she never waked this morning. But her eyes open and she walks, but hears naught and sees naught. She cannot eat. Her soul is taken, surely.
They say you sent for Reverend Hale of Beverley.
Precaution only. He has much experience in demonic arts, and I would like
He
to...
has indeed. And found a witch in Beverley last year, and let you remember that.
Now, Goody Putnam, they only thought there were a witch in Beverley. I'm certain that there be no element of witchcraft here.
No witchcraft. Now look you,
Thomas! Thomas, leave not to witchcraft. I will not discuss it. The cause is yet unknown. I've had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Mr. Paris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in this earth. And believe me, sir, you've never seen more hearty babies born. And yet, each would wither in my arms the very night of their birth. I have spoken nothing, but my heart has clamoured intimations. And now, this year, my Ruth, my only, I see her turning strange. A secret child she has become this year. And so I thought to send her to your
To
Tituba.
Tituba? What made
Tituba
Tituba?
can speak to the dead, Mr. Paris.
Oh, Goody Putnam, it is a formidable sin.
And I take that on my soul. But who else may surely tell us who murdered my babies?
Woman!
They were murdered, Mr. Paris. And mark this proof, mark it! My Ruth were ever so close to their little spirits last night, I know it, sir. For how else is she struck dumb except some power of darkness shut in her mouth? It's a marvellous sign, Mr. Paris.
Don't you understand it, sir? There is a murdering witch among us, bound to keep herself up in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will. You cannot blink it more.
Then you were conjuring spirits last night.
Not I, sir, Tituba and Ruth.
Oh, Abigail, what proper payments for my charity? Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft.
In my house! In my house, Thomas, they will topple me with this. They will make of it a...
Your pardons. I only thought to see how Betty is.
Watch your tone. Who's with Ruth?
Her grandma come. She improved a little, I think. She gave a powerful sneeze before.
There's a sign of life.
I'd fear no more, Goody Putnam. It were a powerful sneeze. Another like it would shake her wits together, I'm sure.
Will you leave now, Thomas? For I would like to pray alone a while.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why do you not go down?
No! No, I have no answer for that crowd. I will wait till Mr. Hale arrives. If you will, Goody Ann.
Now look you, Mr. Paris. Let you strike out against the devil, and the village will bless you for it. Come down, speak to them. They're thirsting for your word. Surely you'll pray with them.
I'll lead them in a psalm. But let us speak nothing of witchcraft yet. I will not discuss it. The cause is yet unknown. I've had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth, do you hear?
Aye, Mum.
If she makes it to the window, cry for me.
I will, Uncle.
There is a terrible power in her arms today.
How is Ruth sick?
It's weirdish. I know not. She seems to look like a dead one since last night.
Betty? Now, Betty, wake up now!
Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one and it wiped her for a minute. Here, let me have her.
No! He'll be coming up. Listen now. If they be questioning us, tell him we danced. I've told him as much already.
Aye. And what more?
He knows Tituba conjured Ruth's sisters to come out the grave.
And what more?
He saw you. Naked.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, we
dancing and the other things, Abby.
Thou will be whipped.
I never done none of it. I only looked.
Oh, you're a great one for looking, aren't you, Mary Warren? What a grand peeping courage you have.
Betty? Now, Betty, wake up now. It's Abigail. I'll beat you, Betty. My, you seem improving. I talked to your papa. I told him everything, so there's nothing.
I want my mama.
What ails you, Betty? Your mama's dead and buried.
I'll fly. I'll fly to mama. Let me fly!
I told him everything. He knows now. He knows everything we've done, so
You
there's
drank
nothing.
blood. Abby, you didn't tell him that.
Betty, you never say that again. You will never.
You did. You drank a child to kill John Proctor's wife. You drank a child to kill Goody Proctor.
Shut it! Now shut it! Now look, you. All of you. We danced. And Tituba conjured Ruth Putnam's dead sisters. And that is all. And mark this. Let either of you breathe a word or the edge of a word about the other things. And I will come to you in the black of some terrible night, and I will bring a pointy reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillow next to mine, and I have seen some reddish work done at night. And I can make you wish you would never seen the sun go down. Now you, sit up and stop this.
Abby, what's got to her? She's gonna die. It's a sin to conjure.
I say shut it, Mary Warren.
Oh, Mr. Proctor, I'm just going home.
Be you foolish, Mary Warren? Be you deaf? I forbid you to leave the house, did I not? Why should I pay you? I'm looking for you more often than my cows.
I only come to see the great doings in the
I'll
world.
show you a great doing on your arse one of these days. I'll get you home. My wife is waiting with your work.
I best be off. I have my Ruth to watch. Good morning, Mr. Proctor.
Yeah. I'd almost forgot how strong you are, John Proctor.
What's this mischief here?
Oh, she's only gone silly somehow.
Rode past my house as a pilgrimage to Salem one morning. Sounds mumbled in witchcraft.
Oh, posh. We were dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle let in on us. She took fright is all.
You're wicked yet, aren't you? You'll be clapped in the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John. A soft word.
Abby, that's done with.
You come 5 miles to see a city girl fly. I know you better.
I come to see what mischief your uncle's brewing now. Put out of mind, Abby.
John, I am waiting for you every
I
night.
never give you hope to wait for me.
I have something better than hope, I think.
Abby, you'll put it out of mind. I will not be coming for you more.
You're surely sporting with me.
You know me better.
I know how you clutched my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. Or did I dream that? It's she that put me out. You cannot pretend it were you. I saw your face when she put me out. And you loved me then, and you do now.
That's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing may say wild things. But not so wild, I think. I have seen you since she put me out. I have seen you nights.
Hardly starts off my farm this 7 months.
I have a sense for heat, John. And yours has drawn me to my window. And I have seen you looking up, burning in your loneliness. Do you tell me you've never looked up at my window?
I may have looked up.
And you You are no wintry man. I know you, John, I know you. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot dream, but I wake and walk about the house as though I'd find you coming through some door.
Child,
How do you call me child?
Abby! I may think of you softly from time to time. I will cut off my hand before I ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of mine. We never touched Abby.
Aye, but we did.
Aye, but we did not.
Oh, how I marvel that such a strong man may let such a sickly wife
You'll
be.
speak nothing of Elizabeth!
She is blackening my name in the village. She is telling lies about me. She is a cold, snivelling woman, and you bend to her. Let her
Do you look for a
I
wicked?
look for John Proctor, that took me from my sleep and put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what pretense Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I was taught by all these Christian women and their covenanted men. And now, you bid me tear the light out of my eyes. I will not. I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor, and whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, pity me. Pity me!
What's she doing? What ails you? Stop that wailing!
What happened? What have you done to her, Betty?
She heard you singing something, she's up and screaming. The song, she cannot bear to the Lord's name.
Mercy, run to the doctor. Tell him what's happened here.
Mark this proof. Mark it!
That is a notorious sign of witchcraft afloat, goody nurse. A prodigious sign.
My mother told me that. And they cannot bear to hear the Lord's
Rebecca,
name.
Rebecca, go to her. We've lost. She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
There is hard sickness here, Giles Corey, so please keep quiet.
I've not said a word. No one here can testify I've said a word. She gonna fly again? Aye, she flies.
Man, be quiet.
What have you done?
What do you make of it, Rebecca?
Goody nurse, will you go to my roof and see if you can wake her?
I think she'll wake in time. Pray calm yourselves. I have 11 children, and I'm 26 times a grandma. And I've seen them all through their silly seasons. And when it come on them, they will run the devil bow-legged, keeping up with their mischief. I think she'll wake when she tires of it. A child's spirit is like a child. You can never catch it by running after it. You must stand still. And for love, it will soon itself come back.
Aye. That is the truth of it, Rebecca.
It's no silly Caesar, Rebecca. Ruth cannot eat.
Perhaps she has not hungered yet. Mr. Paris, I hope you are not decided to go in the search of loose spirits. I've heard promise of that outside.
There is a wide opinion in the parish that the devil may be among us, and I would like to satisfy them they are wrong.
And let you come out and call them wrong. Did you consult the wardens before you called this minister to look for devils?
He is not coming to look for devils.
And then what's he coming for?
There be children dying in the village, mister.
I see none dying. This society will not be a bag to swing around your head, Mr. Putnam. Did you call a meeting before you consulted the wardens?
I am sick of meetings. Can a man not turn his head without having a
He
meeting?
may turn his head, but not to hell.
Pray, John. Be calm. Mr. Paris, I think you'd best send Reverend Hale back as soon as he come. This will set us all to arguing again in the society, and we ought to have peace this year. I think we best rely on the doctor now, and good prayer.
The doctor's baffled.
If so he is, then let us go to God for the cause of it. There is prodigious danger in the seeking of loose spirits. I fear it. rather blame ourselves.
How may we blame ourselves? I am one of 9 sons. The Putnam seed have peopled this province, and yet I have but one of 8 children left, and now she shrivels.
I cannot fathom that, but I must. Do you think it's God's work that you should never bury a child nor grandchild, and I lose all but one? There are wheels within wheels in this village, Rebecca, and fires within fires.
When Reverend Hale comes, you will proceed to look for signs of witchcraft here.
You cannot command Mr. Paris. We vote by name in this society, not by acreage.
I never heard you voice on this society, Mr. Proctor. I do not think I saw you at a Sabbath meeting since snow flew.
Well, I have trouble enough that I come 5 miles to hear him preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. Take it to heart, Mr. Paris. There are many of those who stay away from church these days because you hardly ever mention God anymore.
Why? That's a drastic charge.
It's somewhat true. There are many that quail to bring their children.
I do not preach for children, Rebecca. It is not the children who are unmindful of their obligations toward the ministry.
Are there really those unmindful?
I would say the better half of Salem village.
And more than that.
Where is my wood? My contract provides that I be supplied with all my firewood. I've been waiting since November for a stick. And even in November, I had to show my frost-bitten hands like some London beggar.
You're allowed £6 a year to buy your wood, Mr. Paris.
I regard that £6 as part of my salary.
60, plus 6 for firewood.
The salary is £66, Mr. Proctor. I am not some preaching farmer with a book under my arm. I am a graduate of Harvard College.
I am well instructed in arithmetic.
Mr. Corey, you will look far for a man of my kind as £60 a year. I'm not used to such poverty. I left a thrifty business in the Barbados to serve the Lord. I cannot fathom it. Why am I persecuted here? I cannot offer one proposition without a howling riot of argument. I've often wondered if the devil be in it somewhere. I cannot understand you people otherwise.
Mr. Paris, you are the first minister who ever did demand the deed to this house.
Man, don't a minister deserve a house to live in?
To live in, yes. But to ask ownership is like you should own the meeting house itself. In the last meeting I were at, you spoke so on deeds and mortgages I thought were an auction.
I want a mark of confidence, is all. I am your 3rd preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be put out like the cat when some majority feels the whim. You people can't seem to understand that a minister is the Lord's man in the parish, and a minister should not be so lightly crossed or contradicted.
Aye.
There is either obedience in this church, or the church burns like hell is burning.
If we speak 1 minute without we land in hell again. I'm sick of hell.
Man, it is not for you to say what is good for you to hear.
I may speak my heart, I think.
What? Are we Quakers? We are not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor. And you may tell that to your followers.
My followers?
Aye. There is a faction in this church, I am not blind. There is a party and a faction.
Against you?
Against him and all authority.
Then I must find it and join it.
He does not mean that.
He confessed it now.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I don't want the smell of this authority.
No. You cannot break charity with your minister. You are of another kind, John. Clasp his hand. Make your peace.
We have a crop to sow, and I have lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? Let's find this party. Yeah. He says there's a party.
I changed my opinion of this man, John. Mr. Paris, I beg your pardon. I never thought you had so much iron in you.
Why? Thank you, Giles.
It suggests to the mind what trouble has been among us all these years. Think on it. What for is everybody suing everybody else? Think on it now. It's a deep thing and dark as a pit. I've been in court 6 times this year.
Is it the devil's fault that a man cannot say you good morning without you clapping for defamation? You're old, Giles, and you're not hearing so well as you did.
John Proctor, I only last month collected £4 damages for you publicly saying I burnt the roof off your house, and I
never said such thing, but I've paid you for it, so I can call you deaf without charge. Now come along, Giles. Let me drag my lumber home.
A moment, Mr. Proctor. What lumber is that you're dragging, if I may ask?
It's my lumber, from out my forest by the riverside.
Why, we are surely gone wild this year. What anarchy is this? The tract is in my bounds. It's in my bounds, Mr.
In
Proctor.
your bounds! I bought that tract of Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago.
Why, he had no right to sell it. It stands clear in my grandfather's will that the land between
Your
the river...
grandfather had a habit of willing land that never belonged to him, if I may say it plain.
Aye, that's God's truth. He nearly willed away my old pasture, but he knew I'd break his fingers before he set his name to it. Come on, John. Let's get your lumber home. There's some will to work coming up.
You load 1 oak of mine, and you'll fight to drag it home.
Aye, and we'll win too, Putnam. This fool and I.
I'll have my men on you, Corey. I'll clap a writ on you. Pray you, someone take these.
Oh, Mr. Hale! Oh, it is good to see you again. Oh, they are heavy.
Well, they must be. They're weighted with authority.
Well, you come prepared.
Well, we shall need hard study if it comes to tracking down the old boy. You cannot be Rebecca Nurse.
I am, sir. Do you know me?
It's strange how I knew, but I suppose you look as such a good soul should. We've all heard of your great charities in Beverley.
And you know this gentleman, Mr. Thomas Putnam, and his good wife Anne.
Putnam, I've not expected such distinguished company, sir.
It does not seem to help us today, Mr. Hale. We look to you to come to our house and save our child.
Your child ails too.
Her soul seems flown away. She sleeps, and yet
She cannot eat.
Cannot eat. Do you men have afflicted children?
No. No, these are farmers. John Proctor.
You don't believe in witches.
I never spoke on witches one way or the other. You come, Giles.
No, I think not, John. I've a few queer questions of my own to ask this fellow.
I've urged you to be a sensible man, Mr. Hale. I hope you leave some of it insane.
Oh, will you look at my daughter, sir? Well, she's tried to leap out of the window. We discovered her this morning on the high road, waving her arms as though she'd fly.
Tries to fly.
She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name, Mr. Hale. That's a sure sign of witchcraft afloat.
No. Now let me instruct you. We cannot look to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are definite as stone, and I must tell you all that I shall not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me if I should find no bruise of hell upon her.
It is agreed, sir. It is all agreed. We will abide by your judgment.
Good then. Now what were your first warning of this strangeness?
Well, I discovered her and my niece and 10 or 12 of the other girls dancing in the forest last night.
You permit dancing?
No, it were in secret.
Mr. Paris's favours knowledge of conjuring, sir.
Why, Goody Putnam, we cannot be
I
sure.
know it, sir. I sent my child, she learned from her who murdered her sisters.
Goody Anne! You sent up a child to conjure up the dead?
Let God blame me. Not you, Rebecca. Mr. Hale, is it natural work to lose 7 children before they live a day?
Shh! 7 dead in childbirth.
What book is that?
What's there, sir?
Here is all the invisible world, caught, defined, and calculated. In these books the devil stands stripped of all of his brute disguises. Here are all your familiar spirits, your incubi and succubi, your witches that go by land, by air, and by sea, your wizards of the night and of the day. Have no fear now. You shall find him out if he has come among us, and I mean to crush him utterly if he has shown his face.
Will it hurt the child, sir?
I cannot tell. If she is truly in the devil's grip, we may have to rip and tear to get her free.
I think I'll go then. I am too old for this.
Why? Rebecca, we may open up the boil of all our troubles today.
Let us hope for that. I go to God for you, sir.
I hope you do not mean we go to Satan here.
I wish I knew.
Come, Mr. Hale. Let's get on. Sit you there.
Mr. Hale, always wanted to ask a learned man, what signifies the reading of strange books?
What books?
I cannot tell. She hides them.
Who does this?
Martha, my wife. I've waked tonight and found her in the corner reading of a book. Now what do you make of that?
Well, that's not necessary.
It discomforts me. Last night, mark this, I tried and I could not say my prayers. And she closed her book and walks out the house, and mark this, I could pray again.
Ah, the stoppage of prayer. Yes, that is strange. I'll speak further on that.
Well, I'm not saying she's touched the devil now. But I'd admire to know what books she reads and why she reads them. She'll not answer to me, you see.
Aye, we'll discuss it. Now mark me. If the devil is truly in her, you will witness some frightful wonders in this room. So please keep your wits about you. Mr. Putnam, stand close in case she flies. Now, Betty, dear, will you sit up? Can you hear me? I am John Hale, Minister of Beverley. I've come to help you, dear. Do you remember my 2 little girls in Beverley?
How can it be the devil? Why would he choose my house to strike? We have all manner of licentious people in this village.
What victory would the devil have to win a soul already mad? It is the best the devil wants. And who's better than the minister?
Ask deep, Mr. Paris. Deep, deep.
Oh, answer him. Betty, answer Mr. Hale.
Does someone afflict you, child? It need not be a woman, mind you, or a man. Perhaps some bird invisible to others comes to you. Perhaps a pig, a mouse, or any beast at all. Is there some figure bids you fly? In nomine Domini Sabaoth, sui filique ite ad infernos. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing with her in the forest?
Why, common dancing is all.
I think I ought to say it, sir. I saw a kettle lying on the grass where they danced.
That were only soup.
What sort of soup were in this kettle, Abigail?
Why, it were beans and lentils, I think, and...
Mr. Paris, I did not notice, did you, any living thing in this kettle? A mouse, perhaps? A spider? A frog?
I do believe I saw some movement.
That jumped in. We never put it in.
What jumped in?
Why, a very little frog jumped.
A frog, Abby?
Abigail, maybe your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night?
I never called him. Tituba, Tituba.
She called the devil?
I should like to speak with Tituba.
Goody Putnam, will you summon her?
How did she call him?
I know not. She spoke Barbados.
Did you feel any strangeness when she called him? A sudden cold wind, perhaps, a trembling below the ground?
I didn't see no devil. Betty! Wake up, Betty! Betty!
You cannot evade me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew in that kettle last night?
She never drank it.
Did you drink it?
No, sir.
Did Tituba ask you to drink
She
it?
tried, but I refused.
Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer?
I never sold myself. I'm a good girl. I'm a proper girl. She made me do it. She made Betty do it. Happy. She makes me drink blood.
Blood!
My baby's blood. Oh no, chicken blood. I give she chicken blood.
Woman, have you enlisted these children for the devil?
No, no, sir. I don't trump with no devil.
Why can she not wake? Are you silencing this child?
I love me, Betty.
You have sent your spirit out upon this child, have you not? You gathering souls for the devil.
She sends her spirit on me in church. She makes me laugh at prayer.
I should have often laughed at prayer.
She comes to me every night to go and drink blood. Beg me to God, she beg me. Don't lie. She comes to me while I sleep. She's always making me dream corruptions. Why you say that, Abby? Sometimes I wake and I find myself standing in the open doorway and not a stitch on my body. I always hear her laughing in my sleep. I hear her singing her Barbados songs and tempting me. Sir Reverend,
Tituba, I want you to wake this child.
I have no power on this child.
You most certainly do. And you will free her from it now. When did you compact with the devil?
I don't compact with no devil.
You will confess yourself, or I will take you out and whip you till your death, Tituba.
She must be hanged. This woman must be taken and hanged.
Oh, don't hang Tituba. I tell him I don't desire to work for him anymore, sir.
The devil.
Then you saw him. Now, Tituba, I know that when we bind ourselves to hell, it is very hard to break with it. We are going to help you tear yourself free.
Sir Reverend, I do believe somebody else bewitching these children.
Who?
I don't know, sir, but the devil got him numerous witches.
Does he? Tituba, look into my eyes. Come, look into me. You would be a good Christian woman, would you not, Tituba?
Aye, sir. Christian woman.
And you love these little children.
Oh, yes, sir. I don't desire to hurt little
And you
children.
love God, Tituba.
I love God with all my being.
Now in God's holy name.
Bless him. Bless him.
And to his glory.
Eternal glory. Bless him. Bless God.
Open yourself, Tituba. Open yourself and let God's holy light shine on you.
Oh, bless the Lord.
When the devil comes to you, does he ever come with another person?
Perhaps another person in the village, someone you know.
Who came with him?
Sarah Good. Did you ever see Sarah Good with the devil or Osborne?
Was it a man or woman that came with him?
Man or woman? Was woman.
What woman? A woman, you said what woman?
It was black dark.
You could see him, but you could not see her. Why could you not see her?
They was always talking, they was always running around and carrying on.
In Salem? Salem witches?
I believe so, yes, sir.
But you must have no fear to tell us who they are. Do you understand? The devil can never overcome a minister. You know that, do you not?
Aye, sir, I do.
You have confessed yourself to witchcraft, and that speaks a wish to come to heaven's side, and we will bless you, Tituba.
Oh, God bless you, Mr. Hill.
You are God's instrument put into our hands to discover the devil's agents among us. You are selected, Tituba. You are chosen to help us cleanse our village. So speak utterly, Tituba. Turn your back on him and face God. Face God, Tituba, and God will protect you.
Oh, God, protect Tituba!
Who came to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4, how many?
There was 4. There was 4.
Who? Who are their names? Their names!
How many times he bid me kill you, Mr. Paris?
Kill me.
I say Mr. Paris must be killed. Mr. Paris, no goodly man. Mr. Paris, mean man, and no gentle man. And he bid me rise out of my bed and cut your throat. But I tell him no. I don't hate that man. I don't want to kill that man. But you say you work for me, Tituba, and I make you free. I give you pretty dress to wear, and I put you way high up in the air, and you're going to fly back to Barbados. And I say, you lie, devil, you lie. And then he come one stormy night to me, and he said, look, I have white people belong to me, and I look, and there was Goody Good.
Oh, Sarah Good.
Aye, sir, and Goody Osborne.
Goody Osborne, she were midwife to me 3 times. I begged you, Thomas, didn't I? I begged you not to call her. My baby always shriveled in her hands.
Take courage, Tituba. You must give us all their names. How can you bear to see his child suffering? Look at her, Tituba. Look at her God-given innocence. Her soul is so tender. We must protect her, Tituba. God will bless you for your help.
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil.
I saw George Jenkins the devil. I saw Goody Howe with the devil.
Oh, she speaks, she speaks.
Glory to God, it is broken, they are free.
I saw Martha Bellas the devil.
I saw Goody Simmer with the devil.
The marshal! Oh, call the marshal!
I saw Alice Barrow with the devil.
Let the marshal bring
I
arms!
saw Goody Hawkins with the devil.
I saw Goody Bibbin with the
I
devil.
saw Goody Booth with the devil.
Keeps you so late. It's almost dark.
We're planting far out to the forest edge.
Oh, you're done then.
Aye. Farm is seed. Are the boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Are you well today?
I am. It is a rabbit.
No, is it? From Jonathan's trap?
No, She walked in the house this afternoon. I found her sitting in the corner like she'd come and visit.
That's a good sign, walking in.
Pray God. It hurt my heart to strip her. Poor rabbit.
It's well seasoned.
I took great care. She's tender.
Aye. I think we'll see green fields soon. Warm as blood beneath the clods.
As well.
If the crop is good enough, I'll buy George Jacob's heifer. How would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider.
Aye.
It's from the continent when you go foot by foot, dropping seeds in it.
It must be.
You ought to bring some flowers into the house.
I forgot. I will tomorrow.
It's winter in here yet. On Sunday, let you come with me. And we'll walk the farm together. I've never seen such a lot of flowers on the earth. Lilac is a purple smell. It's the smell of nightfall, I think. Massachusetts. It's a beauty in the spring.
Aye, it is.
I think you're sad again. Are you?
You've been gone so long, I thought you were going to Salem this afternoon.
Why? I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going early this week.
I thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her? You heard me forbid to go to Salem anymore.
I couldn't stop her.
It is a fault. It is a fault. You're the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She frightened all my strength away.
And with that mouse frightened
It is
Elizabeth.
a mouse no more. She raises up her chin like the daughter of a prince and says to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I'm an official of the court.
Court? What court?
Aye. It's a proper court they have now. 4 weighty magistrates out of Boston, and at the head sits the deputy governor of the province.
She's mad.
I wish to God she were. There'll be 14 people in the jail now, she says. And they'll be tried. And the court have the power to hang them too, she says.
They never have.
The deputy governor promised hanging if they'll not confess. The town's gone wild, I think. She speak of Abigail. And I thought she were a saint to hear her. Abigail brings the other girls into court, and where they walk, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel. And folks are brought before them. And if they howl and scream and fall to the floor, they clap in the jail for bewitching them.
It is a black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John. I think so. You must tell them it is a fraud.
Oh, it is. It surely is.
That you go to Ezekiel Cheever, he knows you. Tell him what she said to you last week in her uncle's house. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft, did she not?
She did. She did.
God forbid you keep that from court, John. I think they must be told.
Aye, they must. They must. It is a wonder they do believe her.
I will go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I'll think on it.
Good. And let you think on it.
I'm only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. The girl's a saint now. I don't think it's so easy to prove she's a fraud. And the town gone so silly. She told me in a room alone, Elizabeth. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her.
For a moment alone,
you told me.
For a moment, I say. The others came in soon after.
Do as you wish then.
Woman! I will not have your suspicion
I
anymore.
have-
I'll not have it!
And let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet.
John, if we're not Abigail, you go to harm. Would you fall it now? I think not.
Now look you.
I see what I see, John.
You will not judge me more, Elizabeth. I have good reason to think before I charge fraud in Abigail. And I will think on it. Now you look sometimes to your own improvement before you're going to judge your husband anymore. I forgot Abigail.
And I.
Spare me! You forget nothing and you forgive nothing. No charity, woman. I've gone tiptoe in this house all 7 months since she is gone. I have not moved from there to there with what I think to please you instead of an everlasting funeral marches round your heart. I cannot speak, but I am doubted. Every moment's just for lies. It's not I walk into court when I come into this house.
You are not open with me. You said you saw.
Plead my honesty no more, Elizabeth.
John, I am open.
No more! I should have ruled you down when you first told me your suspicion. But I wilted, and like a Christian I confessed. I confessed. Some dream I had must have mistaken you for God that day, but you're not. Well, you're not. Let you remember it. Let you look sometimes for the goodness in me, and judge me not.
I do not judge you. The magistrate that sits in your right that judges you. I never thought of you but a good man, John, only somewhat bewildered.
Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. How do you go to say them when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you if you dare leave this house again!
I am sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray, pray, hurt me not. My insides are all shuddery, for I am in the proceedings all day, sir.
And what are these proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house as you were paid £9 a year to do? And my wife not wholly well.
I made a gift for you today, Goody Proctor. I had to sit long hours in a chair and pass the time with sewing.
Why, thank you, it's a fair pocket.
We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Why? Indeed we must.
I'll get up early in the morning and clean the house. I must sleep now.
Mary. Is it true? There be 14 women arrested.
No, sir. There be 39 now.
Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child?
Goody Osborne will hang.
Hang! Hang, you say? The deputy governor will allow.
We sentenced her, he must. But not Sarah Good, for Sarah Good confessed, you see.
Confess to what?
That she sometimes made a compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood and bound herself to torment Christians till God's thrown down and we must all worship hell forevermore.
I'm sure you know what a jabber she is. Did you tell him that?
Mr. Proctor, in open court she near to choked us all to death.
How choked you?
She sent her spirit out.
Mary, surely you cannot.
Goody Proctor, she tried to kill me many times.
I never heard you mention that before.
I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When I come into the court, I tell myself, I must not accuse this woman, for she sleep in ditches and so old and poor. But then she sit there denying and I feel a misty coldness creeping up my back and the skin on my skull begin to creep and I feel a clamp around my neck and I cannot breathe air and then I hear a voice, a screaming voice, and it were my voice. And all at once I remember everything she ever done to me.
What did she do to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor. Well, she come to this very door, begging bread and a cup of cider. And mark this, whenever I turned her away empty, she mumbled.
Mumbled? She may mumble if she's hungry.
What does she mumble? You must remember, Goody Proctor, last month, Monday, I Judge Danforth, and he asked her so. Goody Osborne, say he, what curse do you mumble that this child must fall sick after turning you away? And she replies, why, your excellency, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments, says she.
That's an upright answer.
Aye, but then Judge Danforth asked her so. Recite for us your commandments, Goody Osborne. Of all 10, she could not say a single one. She never knew no commandments, and they had her in a flat lie.
And so condemned her.
Why, they must when she condemned herself.
On what proof? What proof?
I just told you the proof. It's hard proof, hard as rock, the judges said.
You will not go to court again, Mary Warren.
I must tell you, sir, I will be gone every day now. I'm amazed you do not see what weighty work we do.
What work you do? Why, it is strange work for a Christian girl to hang old woman.
But Mr. Proctor, they will not hang them if they confess. Sarah Good will only sit in jail for some time. Oh, and here's a wonder for you. Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near to 60.
They had Dr. Griggs examine her and she's full to the brim. And smoking a pipe all these years and no husband either. But she's safe, thank God, for they'll not hurt the innocent child. But be that not a marvel? You must see it, sir. It's God's work we do. So I'll be gone every day for some time now. I am an official of the court.
Oh, an official you! Come here!
No, I'll not stand whipping no more, sir.
Mary promised now.
The devil is loose in Salem, Mr. Proctor. We must find out where he's hiding.
Oh, with the devil out of
I
you!
saved her life today.
I am accused.
Somewhat mentioned, but I said I never seen no sign you sent your spirit out to hurt no one, so they dismissed it.
Who accused me?
I am bound by law, I cannot tell it. I only hope you'll not be so sarcastical with me no more. 4 judges and the king's deputy sat to dinner with us but an hour ago, so I would have you speak civilly to me from this hour.
Go to bed.
I will not be ordered to bed no more, Mr. Proctor. I am 18 and a woman, no matter how single.
Do you wish to sit up? Then sit up.
I wish to go to bed.
Good night, then.
Good night.
Oh, the noose. The noose is up.
There'll be no noose.
She wants me dead, John. I knew all week it would come to this.
They dismissed it. You heard her say it.
And what of tomorrow? They'll cry me out until they take me.
They sit you down.
She wants me dead, John, and you know it.
I say sit down. You must be wise, Elizabeth.
Oh, indeed. Indeed.
Fear nothing. I'll find Ezekiel Cheever. I'll tell him she said it were all sport.
John would throw me in jail more than Cheever's help is needed now. Do you favour me this? Go to Abigail.
What have I to say to Abigail?
John, grant me this, you have a faulty understanding of young girls. There is a promise made in any bed.
What promise?
Spoke or silent, a promise is surely made. And she may dote on it now, I'm sure she does. But she thinks to kill me, then take my place. It is her dearest hope, John, I know it. Be 1,000 names, why does she call mine? I am no goody-good who sleeps in ditches, or Goody Osborne drunk and half-witted. She dare not call out such a farmer's wife, there be a monstrous profit in it. She thinks to take my place.
She cannot think it.
John, have you ever shown her somewhat of contempt? She cannot pass you in the church, but you will blush.
May blush for my sin.
I think she sees another meaning in that blush.
What see you? I will see you, Elizabeth.
I think you'd be somewhat ashamed, for I am there and she so close.
When will you know me, woman? If I were stoned, I would have cracked for shame this 7 month.
Then go and tell her she's a whore. Whatever promise she may sense, John, break it.
I'll go.
Oh, how unwilling.
I will curse her hotter than the oldest cinder in hell. But pray begrudge me not my anger.
Your anger,
Woman, am I so base? Do you truly think me base?
I never called you base.
Then how do you charge me with such a promise? The promise a stallion gives a mare I gave that girl.
Then why do you anger of me when I bid you break it?
Because it speaks deceit and I am honest. I'll plead my honesty no more. See now your spirit twist round the single error of my life, and I will never tear it free.
You'll tear it free. When you come to realise I'll be your only wife or no wife at all. She has an arrow in you, yet John Proctor, and you know it well!
Good evening.
Oh, Mr. Hale. Good evening to you, sir. Come in. Come in.
I hope I do not startle you.
Oh, it's only that we heard no horses.
Your good wife Proctor.
Hi. This is Elizabeth, sir.
I hope you're not off to bed yet.
No. We're not, sir. We are not used to visitors after dark, sir. You're welcome here, of course. Will you sit down?
I will. Let you sit, good wife Proctor.
Will you drink any cider, Mr. Hale?
No, it rebels my stomach. Sit you down, sir. I have some further travelling yet tonight. I'll not keep you long, but I have some business with you.
This is business of the court.
No, I come of my own, without the court's authority. Really, I know not if you're aware, but your wife's name is mentioned in the court.
We know it, sir. How Mary Warren told us. You're entirely amazed.
I'm a stranger here, as you know, and in my ignorance I find it hard to draw a clear opinion of those that come accused before the court. And so this afternoon, and now tonight, I go from house to house. I come now from Rebecca Nurse's house.
Rebecca is charged.
God forbid such a one be charged. She is mentioned somewhat.
Cannot believe I hope that Rebecca trafficked with the devil.
Woman, it is possible.
Surely you cannot think so, sir.
This is a strange time, mister. No man may longer doubt the powers of the dark are gathered in monstrous attack upon this village. There is too much evidence now to deny it. You will agree, sir?
Well, I have no knowledge in that line. I do think it hard to think this so pious a woman be secretly the devil's bitch after 70 years of such good prayer.
Aye, but the devil is a wily one. You cannot deny it. However, she is far from accused, and I know she will not be. I thought, sir, to put some questions as to the Christian characters of this house, if you'll permit me.
We have no fear of questions, sir.
Good, then. In the book of record that Mr. Paris keeps, I note that you're rarely in church on the Sabbath day.
I'm sorry you're mistaken.
26th time in 17 months now. I must call that rare. Will you tell me why I was absent?
Mr. Hale, I never knew I must account to that man whether I go to church or stay at home. Is my wife were sick this winter?
Oh, so I'm told, but you, sir, why could you not come alone?
I surely did come when I could. And when I couldn't, I prayed in this house.
Mr. Proctor, your house is not a church. Your theology must tell you that.
It does, sir, it does. It also tells me that a man may pray to God without he have golden candlesticks upon the altar.
What golden candlesticks?
Since we built the church, sir, there be purer candlesticks upon the altar. Francis Nurse made them, you see. Finer hands never touched the metal. Then Paris came, and for 20 weeks he preached nothing but golden candlesticks until he had them. I labour the earth from the dawn of day to the blink of night, and I tell you true, sir, when I look up to the heavens and I see my money glaring at his elbows, I hurt my prayer, sir. It hurts my prayer. I think sometimes that man dreams cathedrals or clapboard meeting houses.
Yet, Mr. A Christian on Sabbath day must be in church. Tell me, you have 3 children.
Aye, boys.
How comes it that only 2 are baptized?
I like it not that that man should lay a hand on my baby. I see no light of God in Mr. Paris. I'm not conceited.
I must say it, Mr. Proctor, that is not for you to decide. The man's ordained, therefore the light of God is in him.
What be your suspicion, Mr. Hale?
No, I have no suspicion.
I nailed the roof upon the church. I hung the door.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's a good sign then.
It may have been we've been too quick to bring the man to book. You cannot think we ever desired the destruction of religion. I think that's on your mind, is it not, sir?
It is. It is indeed. There is a softness in your record, sir. A softness.
I think perhaps maybe we've been too harsh on Mr. Paris. Sure, we never loved the devil here.
Do you know your commandments, Elizabeth?
I surely do. There be no mark of blame upon my life, Mr. Hale. I am a covenanted Christian woman.
And you, mister?
I'm sure I do, sir.
Will you repeat them, if you will?
The commandments.
Aye.
Well, thou shalt not kill.
Aye.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's goods, nor make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt never take the Lord's name in vain. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me. Thou shalt remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Thou shalt honour thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt never bear false witness. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
You have said that twice, no?
Aye.
Adultery, John.
Aye. You see, sir? Between the two of us, we do know them all. I think it'd be a small fault.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in a fortress may be accounted small.
We know enough for Satan in this house, mister.
I prayed. I prayed daily. Well then, I'll bid you good night.
Mr. Hale, I do believe you are suspecting me somewhat. Are you not?
Lady Proctor, I do not judge you. My duty is to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. I pray you both good health and good fortune. Good night.
Will you tell him, John?
What's that?
I think you should tell him.
So I have no witness, and I can't prove myself unless my word be taken. I know the children's sickness had naught to do with witchcraft.
Naught to do.
Mr. Paris discovered them dancing in the woods, sir. They were startled and they took sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail.
Aye.
Abigail Williams told you it had naught to do with witchcraft.
She told me the day you came, sir.
Why did you keep this?
I didn't know until tonight that the world has gone daft with all this nonsense.
Nonsense! Mister, I have myself examined Tituba, Sarah Good, and numerous others who have confessed to dealing with the devil. They have confessed it.
And why not, if they was hanged for denying it? There are those that will swear to anything before they hang. You never thought of that.
I have. I have indeed. And you would testify to this in court?
I had not reckoned with going to court. But if I must, I will.
Do you falter here?
I falter nothing. I may wonder if my story will be credited in such a court. I may wonder in it when such a steady-minded minister as yourself will suspicion upon a woman who has never lied. She cannot lie. And the world knows she cannot lie. I may falter somewhat, mister. I'm no fool.
Proctor, let you open with me, for I have a rumour that troubles me. It's said that you hold no belief that there may even be witches in this world. Is that true, sir?
I don't know what I have said. I may have said that. I have wondered if there be witches in this world. I don't believe they walk among us now.
Then you do not believe.
I have no knowledge of it. The Bible speaks of witches, and I will not deny it.
And you, woman?
I cannot believe it, sir.
You cannot.
Elizabeth, you bewilder him.
I cannot believe that the devil may own a woman's soul, Mr. Hale, when she's kept an upright way like I have.
I am a good woman, I know it. And if you may believe that I may only do good work and yet am secretly bound to Satan, but I must tell you, sir, I don't believe it.
Good woman, you do believe there are witches
If
in...
you think that I am one, then I say there are none.
You surely do not fly against the gospel.
You believe the gospel, sir, every word.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel, not myself.
Sir, you cannot think she flies against the gospel. This be a Christian house, sir, a Christian house.
God keep you both. Let the third child be quickly baptized and go you without fail each Sunday into Sabbath prayer. And keep a solemn, quiet way among you. I think...
John! Doyle!
What's the matter?
They take my wife.
Well, Martha's in the jail.
Aye, and Rebecca Nurse. Cheever come and take them in his wagon. I've only now come from the jail. They'll not even let me in to see her.
You've surely gone wild now, Mr. Hale.
You, Mr. Hale, can you not speak to the Deputy Governor? I'm sure he mistakes these people.
Calm yourself, Mr. Corey.
Rebecca's the very brick and mortar of the church. And Martha, there cannot be a woman yet closer to God than Martha.
I never said my wife were a witch, Mr. Hale. I only said you were reading books.
What complaints were made on your wife, Mr. Corey?
A bloody mongrel Walcott charger. See her buy a pig off my wife maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I think. Well, the pig due died soon after, so we come dancing back in for his money. But my Martha, she says to him, Walcott, if you haven't the wit to feed a pig properly, you won't live to own many, she says. So now he goes to court and claims that from that day to this, he cannot keep a pig for more than 4 weeks because my Martha bewitched him with her books.
And how is Rebecca charged?
For murder she's charged. For the marvellous and supernatural murder of Goody Putnam's babies.
Believe me, Mr. Corey, if Rebecca Nurse be tainted, then there is nothing left to stop the whole green world from burning. Let you rest upon the justice of the court. The court will send them home, I know.
You cannot mean they will be trialed in court.
Corey, though our hearts break, we cannot flinch. These are new times, sir. There is a misty plot afoot so subtle we should be criminal to cling to old respects and ancient friendships. I have seen too many frightful proof in court. The devil is alive in Salem, and we dare not quail to follow wherever the accusing finger points.
Oh, mister, how may that woman murder babies?
Man, just remember, before an hour the devil fell, God thought him beautiful in heaven.
Good evening, Chief Proctor.
Oh, Mr. Cheever. Good evening.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Mr. Hale.
I hope you come not business of the court.
I do, Proctor. I'm a clerk of the court now, you know.
It's a pity, Ezekiel, that an honest tailor might have gone to heaven must burn in hell. You will burn for this. Do you know it?
You yourself must know I must do what I'm told. Surely you know that, Giles. I'd like you not be condemning me to hell. I like not the sound of it. I like not the sound of it at all. Now, Proctor, how heavy be the law, and all its tonnage I carry on my back tonight. I have a warrant for your wife.
You said she were not charged!
Nothing of it. When was she charged?
I am given 16 warrants tonight, sir, and she is one.
Who charged her?
What? Abigail Williams charged her.
On what proof? What proof?
Mr. Proctor, I have little time, and the court bid me search your house, and I'd like not to search a house, so will you please hand over any puppets your wife may keep?
Puppets?
I've not kept puppets since I were a girl.
I spy puppet, Goody Proctor.
Why? This is Mary's.
Could you please hand it to me?
Has the court discovered a text in puppets now?
Do you keep any others in this house?
No. Nor this one until tonight. What signifies a puppet?
Why, a puppet. A puppet may signify... No, woman, come with me.
You'll not go. Fetch Mary here.
No, I'm forbid to leave her from my sight.
You will leave her out of sight and out of mind, mister. Fetch Mary here, Elizabeth.
What signifies a puppet, Mr. Cheever?
Why, a puppet. Puppet may signify... This.
What's there?
It's a needle. Look, sir, it's a needle.
What signifies a needle?
The girl, the Williams girl, Abigail Williams, she sat to dinner at Reverend Paris's house last night, and without word nor warning, she fall to the ground. Like a struck beast, he says, and scream a scream that a bull would weep to hear.
And when he goes to help her, he finds stuck 2 inches deep in the belly of her flesh, a needle stuck, and demanding me how she came to be so stabbed. She say it were your wife's familiar spirit pushed it in her.
She done it herself. I hope you're not taking this for proof, mister.
'Tis hard proof, sir. I find her a puppet. Goody Proctor keeps it, and in the belly of that puppet a needle stuck. I never warranted to see such proof in hell. My bid who struck me not, for I must chain all the girl.
Hey! Mary Warren! Get here now! How did this puppet come into my house?
What puppet's that,
This
sir?
puppet! This one!
Why, I think it is mine, sir.
Why, is your puppet, is it not?
Aye, it is, sir.
How did it come into my house?
Why, I made it in the court today, sir, and give it to Goody Proctor tonight.
Now, sir, do you have it?
Mary Warren and needle have been found inside this puppet.
Why, I meant no harm by it, sir.
You stuck the needle in yourself.
I believe I did, sir.
Now, sir, what say you?
Child, you are certain this be your natural memory? Perhaps someone conjures you even to say this now?
Conjures me? Why, no, I am entirely myself, I think. Let you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sewing it in the court. Ask Abby. Abby sat beside me while I made it.
Bid him be gone, Mr. Hale. Your mind is surely settled now. Bid him out!
What signifies a needle?
Mary Warren, you charge a cold and cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder? I charge no...
Abigail was stabbed tonight. A needle were found stuck into her belly.
And she charges me.
Aye.
Why? The girl is murdered. She must be ripped out of this world.
Ripped out of the world. Sir, you heard it.
Out with you! Out with you!
Warren,
Get out of my house!
Deputy Governor Warren's man.
Get out, the deputy governor! Get out of my house!
If she is innocent.
If she is innocent! Why do we never wonder if Paris be innocent or Abigail? Is the accuser always holy now? Were they born this morning as clean as God's fingers? I'll tell you what's walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we always were in Salem, but the crazy little children are dangling the keys to the kingdom, and common vengeance writes the law. This Warren is vengeance, and I'll not give my wife to vengeance.
I'll go, John.
You'll not go!
I have 9 men outside, sir. You cannot keep her, the law binds me.
Will you see her taken?
Proctor de Court is...
Pontius Pilate! God will not let you wash your hands of this!
I think I must go. Mary, there is bread enough in the morning, we'll bake in the afternoon. Help Mr. Proctor like you are his daughter. You owe me that and much more. When the children wake, speak nothing of witchcraft, it will frighten them.
I will bring you home, Elizabeth. I will bring you soon.
Bring me soon.
Fear nothing. I will fall like an ocean on that court.
I will fear nothing. Tell the children I've gone to visit someone sick.
Cheever, don't you chain her. Cheever, I will not have her chained. Off with them. I will not have her
Silence,
chained.
Minister! It is fraud! You know it is fraud!
I'll pay you, Cheever. I'll surely pay you.
For sake, man, I must chain the fool. I cannot help myself. Now keep you inside until I am gone.
Proctor.
Get out of my house!
Charity, Proctor, charity. What I have heard I will not fear to testify in court. Oh God, help me. I cannot judge her guilty or innocent, I know not. Only this consider. The world goes mad, and it profit nothing. You should lay the cause to the vengeance of a little girl.
You are a coward. Though you be ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now!
I cannot think God be provoked so grandly by such a petty cause. The jails are packed. Our greatest judges sit in Salem now, and hangings promised. Man, we must look to cause proportionate. Were their murder done, perhaps, and never brought to light? Abomination. Some secret blasphemy that stinks to heaven. Think on cause, man, and let you help me to discover it.
For there's your way, believe it. There's your only way. And such confusion strikes upon the world. Think among yourselves. Think on your village, and what may have drawn such thundering wrath upon you all. I shall pray God open up our eyes.
John, tell me, are we lost?
Go home now, Giles. We'll speak on it tomorrow.
Let you think on it. I'll come early, huh?
Aye. Go now, Giles.
Good night, then.
Mr. Proctor, very likely they'll let her come home once they've given proper evidence.
You're coming home with me, Mary Warren. You will tell it in court.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will tell them how that puppet came into my house and who stuck the needle in.
She'll kill me for saying that. I will charge lechery on you, sir!
She's told you.
I've known it. She'll ruin you with it, sir. I know she will.
Good. Then her saintliness is done with. We will slide together into our pit. And you will tell the court what you know.
I cannot, they'll turn on.
My wife will never die for me! I will bring your guts into your mouth, but that goodness will not die for me!
I cannot do it!
Make your peace with it! Now head in heaven, grapple on our backs, and all our old pretense is ripped away! Make your peace with it! Peace. It is a promise. No great change. We are what we always were. But we are naked now. I naked. And the wind. 'Cause I see wind will blow!
There is abundant evidence in our hands to show you've given yourselves to the readings of fortunes. Do you deny it?
I am innocent to a witch. I know not what a witch is.
How do you know, then, that you are not a witch?
If I were, I would know it.
Why do you hurt these children?
I do not hurt them, I scorn it.
I have evidence for the court! Thomas Putnam is reaching out for land!
Remove that man, Marshal!
You're hearing lies! Lies!
Marshal!
I have evidence for the court! Why will you not hear my evidence? Hands off me, man! Now you let me go!
Giles!
Out my way, Chief, I bring evidence!
You cannot go in there, Giles. It is a court. Pray be calm a moment, sir.
You, Mr. Hales, go in there and demand I speak!
A moment, sir, a moment.
They'll be hanging my wife!
How dare you come roaring into this court, Giles? Have you gone daft, Corey?
Not judge yet, Chief. You're not calling me daft.
Who is this man?
Giles Corey, son, contentious.
I am asked the question, and I am old enough to answer it. My name is Corey, sir. Giles Corey. I have 600 acres and timber in addition. It's my wife who be condemned now.
And how do you imagine to help our cause with such contemptuous riot? Now be gone. Your old age alone keeps you out of jail for this.
They be telling lies about my wife, sir.
And do you take it upon yourself to determine what this court believes and what it shall set aside?
Your Excellency, I mean no disrespect.
Disrespect, indeed, sir. It is disruption. This is the highest court of the supreme government of this province. Do you know it?
Your Excellency, I only said she was reading books. And they come and take her out my house.
Books? What books?
It's my third wife, sir. I never had no wife to be so taken with books, and I thought to find the cause of it. But we're no witch I blamed her for. I broke a charity with a woman. I broke a charity with her.
He claims hard evidence for his wife's defence. I think that in all justice.
Then let him submit his plea in proper affidavit. Surely you know our procedure here, Mr. Hale.
Desperate, sir. I come here 3 days now and I cannot be heard.
Then let you write your plea, and in due time I'll...
Excellency, I have proof for your eyes. God forbid you shut them to it. The girl, sir. The girls are frauds.
What's that?
I approve of it, sir. They're all deceiving you.
Oh, this is contempt, sir, contempt!
Peace, Mr. Paris. Mr. Corey, do you know who I am?
I surely do, sir. And I think you to be a wise man to be the judge that you are.
And do you know that near to 400 are in jail, from Marblehead to Lynn, and upon my signature, and 72 are condemned to hang by that signature?
Your Excellency, I never thought to say it to such a weighty judge, but you are deceived.
Mary Warren, what are you about here?
You speak of the Deputy Governor.
Did you not tell me Mary Warren was sick in bed?
She were, Your Honour. When I come to fetch her to court last week, she said she was sick.
Aye, she's been striving with her soul all week, Your Honour. She comes now to tell the truth of this to you.
And who is this?
John Proctor, sir. Elizabeth Proctor is my wife.
Beware this man, Your Excellency. This man is
Peace.
mischief.
Peace. What would you tell us, Mary Warren?
She never saw no spirit, sir.
Never saw no spirits.
Never.
She saw in depositions.
No. I accept no depositions. But tell me, Mr. Proctor, have you given this story out to the village?
We have not.
We've come to oath of the court, Your Honour.
I pray you, Mr. Paris. Mr. Proctor, do you understand that the entire contention of the state in these trials is that the voice of heaven is speaking through the children?
I know that, sir.
And as for you, Mary Warren, how came you to cry out people sending their spirits against you?
It were pretense, sir.
I cannot hear you.
Pretense, sir.
And the other children, Susanna Walcott and the others, they were also pretending.
Aye, sir.
Indeed.
Surely Your Excellency will not set so vile a lie spread in open court.
Indeed not. Though it struck hard upon me that she would not come here with such a tale. Mr. Proctor, before I continue, before I decide whether I shall hear you or not, it is my duty to tell you this. We burn a hot fire here, and it melt down all concealment.
I know that, sir.
Then let me continue. Now, Mr. Proctor, I understand well a husband's tenderness may drive him to extravagance in defense of a wife. Are you certain, sir, in your conscience, that your evidence is the truth?
It is, sir. And you will surely know it.
And you thought to declare this revelation in open court before the public?
I thought I would, with your permission, sir.
Now, sir, what is your intention in doing so?
Free my wife, sir.
There lie nowhere in your heart, nor hidden in your spirit, any desire to undermine this court.
No, sir.
Your Excellency, Mr. Cheever, I think it be my duty. You'll not deny it, John. When I come to take his wife, he damned the court and ripped your warrant.
Oh, now you have it.
He did that, Mr. Hale.
Aye, he did.
You're a temper, sir, and you know what I did.
Mr. Proctor,
Aye.
have you ever seen the devil?
No, sir.
Are you, in all respects, a gospel Christian?
I am, sir.
Such a Christian that would not come to church but once in a month.
Not come to church?
On Sunday, sir.
He plough on Sunday?
Sir, I've known enough for Mr. Paris, and I have once or twice ploughed on a Sunday. I have 3 children, sir, and until last year my land gave little.
You'll find other Christians that do plough on a Sunday, if the truth be known.
Excellency, I cannot think you may judge the man on such evidence.
I judge nothing. But I tell you straight, mister, I have seen marvels in these courts. I have seen people choked before my eyes by spirits. I have seen them stuck by pins and slashed by daggers. I have, until this moment, not the slightest reason to believe the children may be trying to deceive me. Do you understand my meaning, sir?
Your Excellency, does it not strike upon you that so many of these women live so long with such upright
Do
reputation?
you read the gospel, Mr. Proctor?
I read the gospel.
Aye, I would think not. For surely you would know that Cain were an upright man, and yet he did kill Abel.
Aye, God tells us that. But who tells us, sir, that Rebecca Nurse murdered 7 babies by sending out her spirit on them? It's the children only, sir, and this one will swear she lied to you.
Is this the one, Mr. Crucible?
Right, she's one.
Mr. Proctor, this morning your wife sent me a claim in which she states she is pregnant now.
My wife's pregnant.
There be no sign of it. We've examined her body.
Sir, if you say she is pregnant, then she must be. That woman will never lie, Mr. Danforth.
She will not.
Never, sir. Never.
We've thought it too convenient to be credited. However, should I tell you I will let her be kept another month, and if she begin to show her natural signs, you will have her living yet another year until she is delivered. What say you to that? Come, man. You say your only purpose is to save your wife. Good then. She is saved at least this year, and a year is long. Well, what say you, mister? Will you drop this charge?
I think I cannot.
Well, then your purpose is somewhat larger.
He has come to overthrow the court, Your
This
Honor.
man is my friend. His wife is also accused.
I judge you not. I'm ready to hear your evidence.
Come not to hurt the court, sir. I only come to save my friends.
Mr. Cheever, will you go into the court and bid the judges declare recess for 1 hour? Let them go into the tavern if they will. All prisoners and witnesses are to be kept in the building.
Aye, sir. If I may say it, sir, I've known this man all my life. He is a good man, sir.
I'm sure of it, Mr. Cheever. Now, your evidence, Mr. Proctor. And I bid you be clear, open as the sky, and honest.
I'm no lawyers. I'll just give you
The
this.
pure in heart need no lawyers. Proceed as you will.
Will you read this first, sir? It's a sort of testament. People signing it declare their good opinion of my wife, and Rebecca Nurse, and Martha Corey.
Their good opinion.
These are all land-holding farmers, sir. Members of the church. If you'll notice, they've all known the woman many years and never saw no sign they had dealings with the devil.
How many names are here?
91, Your Excellency.
These people should be summoned for questioning.
Mr. Danforth, I gave them all my word that no harm would come to them for
This is
signing
a
this.
clear attack upon the court, Your Honor.
defense and attack upon the court.
All innocent and Christian people are happy for the courts in Salem. These people are gloomy for it. And I should like to know for each and every one of them what discontents them with you.
It is not necessarily an attack, I think.
These are all covenanted Christians, sir.
Well, then I'm sure they'll have nothing to fear. Mr. Cheever, have warrants drawn for all these. Arrest for examination.
Aye, sir.
Now, what other evidence do you have for us? You may sit, Mr. Corey.
I brought trouble on these people. I brought trouble on them.
No, old man. You've not brought trouble on these people if they are of good conscience. But you must understand, sir, that a person is either with this court or they must be counted against it. There is no road in between. This is a sharp time now, a precise time. We live no longer in the dusky afternoon when evil mixed itself with good and befuddled the world. Now, by God's grace, the shining sun is up, and those that fear not the light will surely praise it. I hope you'll be one of those. She's not hearty, I see.
She's not, sir. There. Remember the angel Raphael. And we said to the boys, do that which is good, and no harm shall come to thee.
Aye, sir.
Come, man. We wait you.
John, my deposition. Give him mine.
Alright. This is Mr. Corey's deposition, sir.
What lawyer do this, Corey?
I've never hired a lawyer in my life.
Oh, it is very well phrased. My compliments. Mr. Paris, will you go into the court and bring Mr. Putnam here? So you have no legal training, Mr. Corey?
I'm the best, sir. I'm 33 times in court in my life. Always plaintiff too.
Well, then you're much put upon.
I'm never put upon. I know my rights and I will have them. I know your father tried a case of mine, must be 35 years ago, I think.
Indeed.
He did not speak to you of it.
No, I cannot recall it.
That's strange. Gave him £9 damages. You were a fair judge, your father, but see, at the time I had this white mare, and this fellow come along to borrow the mare. Aye. There he is.
Mr. Putnam, I have here an accusation from Mr. Corey, in which he states you coldly prompted your daughter to cry witchery upon George Jacobs.
It is a lie.
Mr. Putnam states your charge is a lie. What say you?
Fart on Thomas Putnam. So I say to that.
What proof do you submit of your charge, sir?
My proof is there. If Jacobs hanged for a witch, he forfeit up his property. That's law. And there's none but Putnam with the coin to buy so great a piece. The man is killing off his neighbours for their land.
Proof, sir! Proof!
The proof is there! I have it from an honest man who heard Putnam say it. The day his daughter cried out on Jacobs, he said that she'd given him a fair gift of land.
And the name of this man?
What name?
The name of the man who gave you this information.
I cannot give you his name.
And why not?
Well, you know well why not. He'll lay in jail if I give you his name.
This is contempt of the court, Mr. Danforth.
You will surely give us the name.
I will not give you no name. I mentioned my wife's name once and I will burn in hell long enough for that.
Then you leave me no choice but to hold you in contempt of this court. Do you know that?
This is a hearing. You cannot clap me for the contempt of a hearing.
Oh, it is a proper lawyer. Do you wish me to declare the court in full session here, or will you give me good reply?
I cannot give you no name, sir. I cannot.
You're a foolish old man. Mr. Cheever, begin the record. The court is now in session here. I ask you, Mr.
Your Honour, he has a story in confidence.
Oh, the devil lives on such confidences. And without confidences, there would be no conspiracy, Your Honour.
Old man, if your informant does indeed tell us the truth, then let him come here openly like a decent man. But if he hide in anonymity, I must know why. Now, the government and central church demand the name of him who reported Mr. Thomas Putnam a common murderer.
Excellency,
Mr. Hale.
we cannot blink it more. There is a prodigious fear of the court in this country.
Then there is a prodigious guilt in the country. Are you afraid to be questioned here?
I may only fear the Lord, sir. But there is a fear in the country nevertheless.
Reproach me not with fear in the country. There is a fear in the country because there is a moving plot to topple Christ in the country.
But it does not follow that everyone accused is part of it.
No uncorrupted man may fear this court, Mr. Hale. None. You are under arrest for contempt of this court. Now sit you down and take counsel with yourself, or you will be put in jail until you agree to answer all questions.
No, Giles! I'll cut your throat, Putnam! I'll kill you, yes! Peace, Giles! Peace! We'll prove ourselves. Now we will. Say nothing more, John. He's only playing you! He means to hang us all!
This is a court of law, mister. I'll have no effrontery here.
Give him, sir, for his old age. Peace, Giles. We'll prove ourselves now. You cannot weep, Mary. Remember the angel. We say to the boy, hold to it now, there's your rock. This is Mary Warren's deposition, sir. I'd ask you to remember when you read it. And until yesterday, she were no different than the other children of. You saw her scream. She howled. She swore that familiar spirits choked her and that Satan, in the form of woman now in jail, tried to win her soul away. And then when she refused...
We know all this.
Aye, sir. She swears now she never saw Satan, nor any spirit, vague or clear, that may have been sent by Satan to try and harm her. And she declares all of her friends are lying now.
Excellency, a moment, I think this goes to the heart of the matter.
It surely does.
I cannot say he is an honest man, I know him little. But in all justice, sir, claims so weighty cannot be argued by a farmer. In God's name, sir, stop here, send him home, and let him come again with a lawyer.
Now look here, Mr. Hale.
Excellency, I have signed 72 death warrants. I am a minister of the Lord, and I dare not take a life without there be proof so immaculate no slightest qualm of conscience may doubt it.
Mr. Hale, you surely do not doubt my justice.
I have this morning signed away the soul of Rebecca Nurse, Your Honour. I'll not conceal it. My hand still shakes, yet as with a wound. I pray you, sir, this argument let lawyers present to you.
Mr. Hale, forgive me. For a man of such terrible learning, you are most bewildered. I am 32 years at the bar, and should be confounded were I called upon to defend these people. So consider now, and I bid you all do likewise. In an ordinary crime, how does one defend the accused? Well, one calls up witnesses to prove his innocence. But witchcraft is, ipso facto, on its face and by its nature, an invisible crime. Is it not? Well, therefore, who may be witness to it? The witch and her victim. No. We cannot rely on the witches to condemn themselves, granted. Therefore, we must rely on her victims, and they do testify. The children certainly do testify. Well, therefore, what is left for lawyers to bring out? I think I've made my point, have I not?
But this child claims the girls are not truthful, and if they are not...
That is precisely what I'm about to consider, sir. What more may you ask of me, unless you doubt my probity?
I surely do not, sir. You consider it then.
And let you put your heart to rest. A deposition, Mr. Proctor.
I should like to
Mr. Paris, I bid you be silent! Mr. Cheever, will you go into the court and bring the children out here?
Yes, sir.
And as for you, Mary Warren, how came you to cry out people sending their spirits against you? Did Mr. Proctor threaten you for this deposition?
No, sir.
Has he ever threatened you?
No, sir.
Has he ever threatened you?
No, sir!
Then you mean to tell me that you sat in my court, callously lying when you knew people would hang by your evidence? Answer me!
I did, sir!
How were you instructed in your life? Do you not know that God damns all liars? Or is it that you're lying now?
No, sir. I am with God now.
You are with God now. I tell you this. You are either lying now, or you are lying in court. In either case, you have committed perjury, and you will go to jail for it. You cannot lightly say that you lied, Mary. Do you know that?
I cannot lie no more, sir. I am with God now. I am with God.
Putnam's not in court, Your Excellency, nor the other children.
These will be sufficient. Sit you down, children. Now, your friend, Mary Warren, submitted a claim in which she states she never saw no apparition, familiar spirit, or any manifest of the devil. She also states that you do not see these things either. Now, children, this is a court of law. The law based upon the Bible. And the Bible writ by Almighty God forbid the practice of witchcraft, and describe death, the penalty thereof. Likewise, the law and Bible damn all bearers of false witness. It does not escape me that this deposition may be devised to blind us. It may well be that Mary Warren has indeed been conquered by Satan, who sends her here to distract our sacred purpose. If so, her neck will break for it. But if she speak true, I bid you, children, drop your guile and confess your pretense, for a quick confession will go all the easier for you. Abigail Williams, rise. Is there any truth in this?
No, sir.
Children, a very auger bit will be turned into your souls until your honesty is proved. Do either of you change your position, or do you force me to hard questioning.
I have not to change, sir. She lies.
And do you wish to go through with this?
I, sir.
A poppet were discovered in Mr. Proctor's house, stabbed by a needle. Now Mary Warren states that you sat next to her in court as she made it, that you saw her make it, and how you witnessed how she herself stuck a needle into it for safekeeping. What say you?
It is a lie, sir.
When you worked for Mr. Proctor, did you ever see poppets in that house?
Goody Proctor always kept poppets.
Your Honor, my wife never kept no puppets.
Your Excellency. Mr. Cheever, when I spoke to the Goody Proctor in that house, she said she never kept any puppets. But she said she did keep puppets when she were a girl.
She's not been a girl these 15 years, Your Honor.
But a puppet will keep for 15 years, will it not?
It will keep if it is kept, sir. Mary Warren swears she never saw no puppets in my house, nor anyone else. Why?
Could there not have been puppets hid when no one ever saw it?
There may also be a dragon with 5 legs in my house, but no one has ever seen it.
We are here, Your Honor, to discover precisely what has not been seen.
Mr. Danforth, what profit this girl to turn herself about? What made Mary Warren gain by hard questioning and worse?
You are charging Abigail Williams with marvelous cool plot to murder. Do you realize this?
I do, sir. I believe she means to murder.
This child would murder your wife.
It is not a child! Now hear me, sir. In the sight of the congregation, you're twice this year part of this meeting house for laughter during prayer.
What's that? Laughter!
Excellency, she were under Titular's power at the time. She is solemn now.
By now she is solemn and goes to hang people!
Quiet, man! Proceed, Mr. Proctor.
Mary, tell the governor how you danced in the woods now.
Your Excellency, since I come to Salem, this man has been blackening my name.
In a moment, sir. What is this dancing?
Mr. Proctor.
Abigail leads the girls into the woods, Your Honor, and they have danced there naked.
Your Excellency.
Mr. Parrish discovered them himself in the dead of night. There's the child she is.
Mr. Paris.
All I can say is I never saw any of them naked.
But you discovered them dancing in the woods. Abigail.
Excellency, when I first arrived from Beverly, Mr. Paris told me that.
Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
I do not, sir. But I never saw any of them naked.
But ye have danced.
Aye, sir.
Excellency, will you permit me?
Pray, proceed.
Mary, you say you never saw no spirits whenever threatened or afflicted by any manifest the devil or the devil's agents.
No, sir.
And yet, when people accused of witchery confronted you in court, you would faint, saying their spirits rose out of their bodies and choked you.
That were pretense, sir.
I cannot hear you.
Pretense, sir.
But you did turn cold, did you not? I myself picked you up many times and your skin were icy, Mr. Danforth.
I saw that many times.
She only pretended to faint, Your Excellency. They're all marvelous pretenders.
Then can she pretend to faint now?
Now,
why not? There are no spirits attacking her. For none in this room are accused of witchcraft. Let her turn herself cold now. Let her pretend she's attacked. Let her faint. Faint!
Faint.
Aye, faint. And prove to us how you pretended so many times in court.
I cannot do it now, sir.
can you not pretend?
I have no sense of it now, sir.
Why? What is lacking now?
I cannot tell, sir.
Might it be that here we have no afflicting spirits loose?
No, I never saw no spirit.
Then see no spirits now, and prove to us how you can faint at your own will, as you claim.
I cannot do it now, sir.
Well, then you will confess yourself, will you not, for it were attacking spirits that made you faint?
No, sir.
Oh, Your Excellency, this is all a clear trick to blind the court.
It's not a trick. I used to faint because I thought I saw spirits.
Thought you saw them.
But I did not, Your Honor.
How can can you say you saw them unless you saw them?
I cannot tell how, but I heard the other girls screaming, and you, Your Honour, you seem to believe them, and I only swore in the beginning, sir, but then the whole world cried, spirits, spirits, and I only thought I saw them, but I did not, Your Honour.
Surely your excellency is not taken by such a simple lie.
Abigail, I bid you, search your heart and tell me this, but beware of it. For to God every life is precious, and his vengeance is terrible on him that take life without reason. Is it possible, child, that the visions you saw were illusions only? Some apparition that may cross your mind?
Why this? This is a base question, sir.
Child, I'd have you only...
I have been hurt, Mr. Danforth. I have seen my blood running out. I have been near to murdered every day because I've done my duty pointing out the devil's people. And this is my reward. To be mistrusted, denied, questioned like a...
Child, I do not mistrust...
Let you beware, Mr. Danforth. Think you to be so mighty the power of hell may not turn your wits. Beware of it. There's...
What is it, child?
I know not. A wind, a cold breeze. Your Honor, I freeze.
They're pretending.
Mary, you cast a shadow on me.
Lord, save me.
I freeze. I freeze.
The wind. Don't do that.
Marywarren, do you cast your spirit out on them?
Let me go, Mr. Proctor. I cannot.
Oh, Heavenly Father, take away this
How
shadow.
do you call heaven? Oh, God! It is a whore!
You charge!
Mr. Danforth, he is lying.
Mock her! Just like a scream, just stab her in the
You
eye.
will prove this! This will not pass!
I've known her, sir! I've known her!
You're a lecher!
You cannot say Sam will not cast away his good name. You surely know that.
In what time? In what place?
The proper place. Where my beasts are bedded. The last night of my choice, some 8 months past. She used to serve me in my house, sirs. A man may think God sleeps. God sees everything, and I know it now. I beg you, sir. I beg you, see her what she is. My wife, my dear, good wife, took her out soon after, sir, and put her out on the high road. And being what she is, a lump of vanity, sirs! Forgive me, sir. She means to dance with me on my wife's grave! And well she might, for I thought of her softly. And God help me, I lusted, and there is a promise in such sweat, but it is a whore's vengeance! You must see it now. I lay myself entirely in your hands, sir. I know you must see it now.
You deny every scrap and tittle of this.
If I must answer that, I will leave, and I will not come back again.
I have made a bet of my honour. Whatever I would doom of my good name, you will believe me, Mr. Danforth. My wife is innocent, except she knew a whore when she saw one.
What look do you give me? I'll not have such looks!
You'll remain where you are! Mr. Cheever, go into the court and bring Goodwife Proctor out.
Your Honour, this is all
Bring her out! And tell her not one word of what's been spoken here. And let you knock before you enter. Now we will touch the bottom of this swamp. Your wife, you say, is an honest woman.
In her life, sir, she has never lied. There are those that cannot sing, and those that cannot weep, but my wife can never lie, sir.
And when she put this girl out, She put her out for a harlot.
Aye, sir.
And she knew her for a harlot.
Aye, sir, she knew her for a harlot.
And if she say it with a harlotry, may God spread his mercy on you. Hold! Turn your back. Turn your back! Do likewise. Now let neither of you turn to face Goody Proctor. No one in this court is to say a word or raise a gesture, A or nay. Enter! Mr. Shiva, report this testimony in all exactness. Are you ready?
Ready, sir.
Come here, woman. You're to look in my eyes only, and not at your husband. Now, we are given to understand that at one time you dismissed your servant, Abigail Williams.
That were true, sir.
For what reason did you dismiss her? You will look in my eyes only, and not at your husband. The answer is in your memory, and you need no help to give it to me. Now, why did you dismiss Abigail Williams?
She dissatisfied me. And my husband.
In what way dissatisfied me?
She were...
Woman, look at me! Was she slovenly? Lazy? What disturbance did she cause?
Your Honor, in that time, I was sick and My husband is a good and righteous man. He is never drunk as some are, or wasting his time at the shuffleboard, but always at his work. But in my sickness, see, sir, I was a long time sick after my last baby. And I thought I felt him somewhat turning from me. And this girl...
Look at me, woman!
Hi, sir. Abigail Williams.
What of Abigail Williams?
I came to think he fancied her. And one night I lost my wits, I think, and put her out on the high road.
And your husband, did he indeed turn from you?
My husband is a good man, sir.
Then he did not turn from you.
He...
Look at me, woman! To your own knowledge, has John Proctor ever committed the crime of lechery? Answer me! Is your husband a lecher?
No, sir.
Remove her, Marshal.
Elizabeth, tell the truth.
She has spoken. Remove her.
Elizabeth, I confessed it.
Oh, God!
She only thought to say my name.
I see it as a natural lie to tell. I pray you stop now before another is condemned. I may shut my conscience to it no more. Private vengeance is working itself through this testimony. From the beginning, this man has struck me true, and by my oath to heaven, I believe him now.
She has spoken nothing of lechery, and this man has lied!
I believe him! This girl has always struck me false. She has...
You will not! Be gone, I say!
What is it, child? Child, girls, why do you...
It's on the beam! Behind the rafter!
Where?
Why do you come, yellow star?
There's a bird. I see no bird.
My face!
Mr. Hale.
Quiet!
Do you see a bird?
Be quiet!
God made my face. You cannot want to tear my face. Envy is a deadly sin, Mary. Abby! Oh, Mary, this is a black art to change your shape. No, I cannot. I cannot stop my mouth. It's God's work I do. I live here.
You're pretending, Mr. Danforth.
Oh, Mary, please, don't come down. Of course, she's stretching her claws.
Lies. It's
Mary,
lies.
please don't hurt me. I'm not hurting her.
Why does she see this vision?
She sees nothing.
Abby, you mustn't!
Abby, you mustn't.
I'm here!
I'm here.
Mary Warren, do you cast your spirit out on them?
Mr. Danforth!
Mr. Danforth.
You have compacted with the devil, have you not?
Never.
Why can they only repeat
Give me a
you?
whip. I'll stop it.
Abby, stop it!
A little while ago you were afflicted. Now it seems you afflict others. Where did you find this power?
I have no power.
I'm telling you, mister.
How did you tell about these past 2 weeks? You have seen the devil, have you
You
not?
cannot believe them.
Mary, God's hands were liars.
You have seen the devil. You may come back with Lucifer, have you What do you say? I say you will hang if you do not open with me.
I remember the angel we sent to the boy. Do you know what she's good?
Wait! Her wings are spreading, Mary, please! Don't!
I see nothing, Your Honour.
Will you speak? I say you will hang if you do not speak.
She's gonna come down! She's walking the beam!
Will you speak?
I cannot!
Oh gosh, the devil loud, look at him in the face, travel.
Look out! She's coming down!
Mary, tell me
Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Mary!
You're the devil's man!
Oh, praise God.
Praise God! I will
Mary.
not hang with you no more. I love God. I love God.
He bids you do the devil's work.
He come at me by night and every day to sign.
Sign
The
what?
devil's book, he come with a book.
My name. He want my name. I'll murder you, he says. If my wife hangs, we must go and overthrow the court, he says.
Mr. Hale!
He wake me every night. His eyes were like his coals, and his fingers claw my neck, and I sigh.
This child has gone
Mary!
wild.
I'll go with you no more. I love God. I bless God. Abby, I'll never hurt you no more. I love God.
What are you? You have compacted with the devil, have you not? I've seen your power, you won't deny it. What say you, mister?
Excellency.
I have nothing from you, Mr. Hale. What say you, mister? Do you confess this black allegiance yet? What say you?
I say God is dead!
Hear it, hear it.
The fire! The fire is burning! I hear the boom of Lucifer and I see his filthy face. And it is my face, and it is yours, therefore! For those that quail to bring men out of ignorance, as I have quailed, and as you quail now, when you know that all of your black hearts that this be fraud! Goddamm's archives especially. We will burn and we will burn together!
Marshal, take him and Gory with him to the
I
jail.
denounce these proceedings.
You are putting him down and raising up a whore!
I denounce these proceedings. I quit this court.
Mr. Hale! Mr. Hale!
Sarah. Wake up. Sarah Good.
Majesty! Woman, Titchbury, here is Majesty's call!
Go to the north south. This place is wanted now.
Now don't look to me like His Majesty. Look to me like the Marshal.
Oh, is it you, Marshal? I thought sure you'd be the devil coming for us. Could I have a sip of cider for me going away?
Where are you off to, Sarah?
Oh, we're going to Barbados. As soon as the devil gets here with the feathers and the wings.
Oh, and a happy voyage to you.
A pair of bluebirds ringing southerly, the two of us. Oh, it'd be a grand transformation, Marshal.
Oh, come along.
I'll speak to him for you if he desires to come along, Marshal.
Not deny it, Tituba. It's the proper morning to fly into hell.
There'd be no hell in Barbados. Devil. Him be pleasure man in Barbados. Him be singing and dancing in Barbados. You folks, you riled him up round here. It'd be too cold round here for that old boy. He frees his soul in Massachusetts. Oh, in Barbados he's just so sweet. I sir, that's him, Sarah. I'm here, Majesty.
The deputy governor's arrived. God. Oh, come along, come along.
No,
That's not Satan, just a poor old cow with a hatful of milk. Now come along, out with you.
Take me home, devil! Take me home! You tell him I'm going, take you back! No, you don't, sir! I'm going to!
Morning, Your Excellency.
Where's Mr. Paris?
I'll be fetching.
Marshal, when did Reverend Hale arrive?
He come about midnight, I think.
What is he about here?
He goes to those who are to hang, and he prays with them. He sits with Goody Nurse now, and Reverend Paris with him.
Indeed. That man had no authority to enter this place, Marshal. Why'd you let him in?
Why, Reverend Paris command me, sir. Cannot deny it. Though, think sometimes that man has a mad look about him these days.
Mad?
Right, mad. Came across him yesterday as he were leaving his house, and when I bid him good morning, he weep and go about his day. I think it not be good for the village to see him so unsteady.
Perhaps you have some sorrow.
Oh yeah, I think it be the cows.
The cows?
There are many cows wandering the highroad, sir. Now that their masters are in jail, and there's much disagreement as to who they belong to. I know Reverend Harris was arguing with the farmers all yesterday about the cows. There's much contention, sir. And contention make him weep. You were always a man who weep for contention.
Oh, good morning, sir. Thank you for coming. I beg your pardon for waking you so early.
Mr. Hale had no right to enter.
See, hear me. Oh, it is a providence. Reverend Hale has returned from Beverley to bring Rebecca Nurse to God.
He bids her confess.
Hear me. Rebecca have not given me a word these last 3 months since she came. Now he sits with them, and Martha Corey and his sister, and 2 or 3 of the others. He pleads with them, confess their crimes and save their lives.
Why, this is indeed a providence. And they soften. They soften.
Not yet. Not yet. But I thought to summon you, sir, to discuss whether it be wise not to. I would like to put to question,
Mr. Paris, be plain. What troubles you?
There is news, sir. News that the court must reckon with. My niece, sir, my niece, I believe she's vanished.
Vanished?
I thought to advise you earlier in the week, sir. But
why? How long is she gone?
This be the 3rd night. You see, sir, she told me she would stay at Mercy Lewis. And when she does not return, I inquired to Mr. Lewis. Mercy told him that she would sleep in my house for the night.
They are both gone.
They are, sir.
I will send a party for them. Where may they be?
Excellency, I believe they might be aboard a ship. My daughter tells me how she heard them speaking of ships last week, and tonight I discovered my strong box was broke into.
She have robbed you!
Oh, £31 is gone, I am penniless.
Mr. Paris, you're a brainless man!
Oh, Excellency, it profit nothing. You should blame me. I cannot think they would flee except they fear to keep in Salem any more. Mark it, sir. Abigail had close knowledge of the town, and when the news of Andover had broken here...
Andover is remedied. The court returns there on Friday to continue examination.
Sure of it, sir. But the news here speaks of rebellion in Andover.
There is no rebellion in Andover.
I tell you what is said here, sir. Andover have thrown up the court. They say they would have no part of witchcraft. There is a faction here feeding on that news. I tell you true, sir, I fear there may be riot here.
Riot? Why? At every execution I have nought but the highest satisfaction of the town.
Your Excellency, we're on another sort you've hung till now. Rebecca Nurse is no Bridget that lived with Bishop for 3 years before she married him. John Proctor is no Isaac Ward that's drank his family to ruin. I wish to God if it were not so, sir, but these people have great weight yet in the town. Let Rebecca stand upon the gibbet and send up some righteous prayer, and I fear she will wake vengeance upon you.
Pray. How do you propose then?
Excellency, I would postpone his hanging.
There will be no postponement.
Now that Mr. Hale's return, there is hope. I think if he brings even one of them to God, that confession surely damns the others in the public eye. And none may doubt that they are all linked to hell. This way, unconfessed and claiming innocence, doubts are multiplied. I tell you true, sir.
Give me the list.
Excellency, it cannot be forgot that when I summoned the congregation for John Proctor's excommunication, there were hardly 30 people there to hear it. One speaks of discontent.
There will be no postponement.
Excellency.
Now, which of these you have hope for? I will myself strive with them till dawn.
Excellency, there's not sufficient time till dawn.
I will do my utmost. Which of these you believe can be brought to God?
Excellency, a dagger.
What's that?
When I opened my door tonight, a dagger clattered to the ground. Oh, you cannot hang this sword. There is danger for me. I dare not step outside at night.
My congratulations, Mr. Hale. Very glad to see you return to your good work.
You must pardon them. They will not budge.
You must understand me, sir. I cannot pardon these when 12 already hanged for the same crime. It is not just.
Rebecca will not confess.
The sun will rise in a few minutes. Excellency, I must have more time.
Hear me now, and beguile yourselves not. I will not receive a single plea for pardon or postponement. Those that will not confess will hang. 12 already hanged for the same crime. The names of these are given out to the village, who expect to see them die in the morning. Postponement now speaks of a floundering on my part. Reprieve or pardon must cast doubt upon the guilt of those that have died till now. While I speak God's law, I will not crack his voice with whimpering. Now draw yourselves up, like men, and help me, as you are bound by heaven to do so. Have you spoken to them all, Mr. Hale?
All but Proctor. He is in the dungeon.
What is Proctor's way now?
He said like some great birds, sir. Do not know we were alive, except he take food from time to time.
His wife. His wife must be well on with a child now.
She is, sir.
What think you, Mr. Paris? Might her presence soften him?
It is possible, sir. He has not seen her these last 3 months. I should summon her.
What is Proctor's way now? Has he struck at you again?
He cannot, sir. He's chained to a wall now.
Bring Giddy Proctor here, and then bring him up.
Aye, sir.
Excellency, if you postpone a week and publish to the town, you are striving for their confessions. That speak mercy on your part, not faltering.
Now look here, Mr. Hale. If I am not empowered like Joshua to stop this sun from rising, so I cannot withhold from them the perfection of their punishment.
If you think God wills you to raise rebellion, Mr. Danforth, you are mistaken.
You have heard of rebellion spoken in the town.
Excellency, there are orphans wandering from house to house. Abandoned cattle bellow on the high roads, and you wonder yet if rebellion spoke. That you should marvel they do not burn your province.
Have you preached in Andover this month?
Thank God they have no need for me in Andover.
Why, you baffle me, sir. Why have you returned here?
Why? It is all simple. I come to do the devil's work. I come to counsel Christians they should belie themselves. There is blood on my head. Can you not see the blood on my head?
Hush!
Goody Proctor, I hope you are hearty.
And yet 6 months before my time.
Be at your ease. We come not for your life, we... Mr. Hale, will you speak with her?
Lady Proctor, your husband is marked to hang this morning.
I have heard it.
You know, do you not, that I have no connection with the court? I come of my own, Goody Proctor, for if your husband is taken, I count myself his murderer. Do you understand me?
What do you want of me?
Goody Proctor, I have gone this 3 month like our Lord into the wilderness. I have sought a Christian way, for damnation's doubled on a minister who counsels men to lie.
It is no lie! You cannot speak of lies!
It is a lie!
I'll hear no more of this!
Let you not mistake your duty as I mistook my own. I came into this village like a bridegroom to his beloved, bearing gifts of high religion. The very crowns of holy law I brought, and what I touched with my bright confidence, it died. And where I turned the eye of my great faith, blood flowed up. Beware, Goody Proctor. Cleave to no faith when faith brings blood. It is mistaken law that leads you to sacrifice. Life, woman. Life is God's most precious gift. No principle, however glorious, may justify the taking of it. Will you plead with him? I cannot think you will listen to another.
I think that be the devil's argument.
Oh, woman, before the laws of God we are swine. We cannot read his will.
I cannot dispute
Proctor, you were not summoned here for disputation. Will you plead his confession or will you not? He will die at the sunrise. Your husband. Do you understand it? Be there no wifely tenderness within you? I say, woman, if I had no other proof of your unnatural life, your dry eyes alone would be sufficient evidence that you had delivered your soul to hell. Are you stone? Why, a very ape would weep at such calamity. So what say you? Will you strive for his confession? Take her out. It profit nothing she should speak to him.
Excellency, let me speak with him.
You'll strive with him?
I promise nothing. Let me speak with him.
Will you strive for his confession or will you not?
Pray, leave them, Excellency.
Mr. Proctor, you've been notified, have you not? I see a light in the sky, mister. That you counsel with your wife that you may turn your back on hell.
Excellency,
If you desire to come aside of Mr. Proctor, God leads you now.
Child,
It grows.
there's no word from the boys.
They're well. Rebecca Samuel keeps them.
You have not heard from them.
I have not.
You are a marvel, Elizabeth.
You have been tortured.
Aye. They come from my life now.
I know it.
None have yet confessed.
Be many confess.
Who are they?
There be 100 or more, they say. Goody Ballard is one. As I good kind is another, there be many.
And Rebecca.
No, not Rebecca. She is 1 foot in heaven now. Naught may hurt her more.
And Giles.
You've not heard it.
I know nothing where I'm kept.
Giles is dead.
When were he hanged?
He were not hanged. He would not answer his indictment, I or name. For if he denied the charge, they'd hang him surely and auction out his property. So we stand mute and died Christian under the law, so his sons will have his farm. It is the law, for he cannot be condemned a wizard lest he answer his indictment, aye or nay.
And how does he die?
They press him, John.
Press.
Great stones they lay upon his chest until he answered. They say he gave him but 2 words. More weight, he says, and died.
More weight.
Aye. It were a fearsome man, Giles Corey.
You thinking I might confess to them? What say you? Well, give him that.
I cannot judge you, John.
And what would you have me do?
As you will, I would have it. I want you living, that's sure.
Charles's wife. She confessed.
She will not.
It is a pretense, Elizabeth.
What is?
Cannot mount the gibbet like a saint. It is a fraud, I am not that man. My honesty is broken, Elizabeth, I am no good man. Nothing is spoiled by giving them this lie that were not rotten long before.
And yet you've not confessed until now. That speak goodness in you.
Spite only keeps me silent.
It is hard to give a lie to dogs. I would have your forgiveness.
It's not for me to
I'd have you
give.
see some honesty in it. Let them that never lie die now and keep their souls. Me it is a pretense. A vanity that will not blind God nor keep my children out of the whip. What say you?
John, it come not that I forgive you if you'll not forgive yourself. It is not my soul, John, it is yours. Be sure of this, for I know it. Whatever you do, it as a good man does it. I have read my heart this 3 months, and I have sins of my own to count. It take a cold wife to prompt lechery.
Enough! Enough!
Betty, you should know me.
I will not hear it, I know you.
You take my sins upon you.
I take my own. My own!
I counted myself so plain, so poorly made that no honest love could come from me. Suspicion kissed you when I did. I never knew how I should say my love. It were a cold house I kept.
What say you, Proctor? The sun is soon up.
Do what you will, but let none be your judge. There be no higher judge unto heaven than John Proctor is. Forgive me. Forgive me, John. I never knew such goodness in the world.
I want my life.
You'll confess yourself.
I'll have my life.
God be praised. It is a providence. He'll confess.
Oh, why do you cry it? It is evil. It is evil, is it not?
I cannot judge you.
Who will judge me? God in heaven, what is John Proctor? What is John? I think it is honest, I think so. I am no saint. Let Rebecca go like a saint. For me it's fraud.
I cannot be your judge, I cannot.
Would you give them such a lie? Say it. Would you ever give them this? You would not. Tongues of fire were singeing you, you would not. Good. It is evil. It is evil, and I do it.
Praise to God, man. Praise to God. You'll be blessed in heaven for this. Now, let us have it. Are you ready, Mr. Cheever?
Ready, sir.
Why must it be written?
Why, for the good instruction of the village. This we shall post upon the church door. Now, may you speak slowly and to the point, for Mr. Cheever's sake. Mr. Proctor, have you ever seen the devil? There is a light in the sky, mister. What say you?
I did.
Oh, praise God! And when he came to you, what were his demands? Did he bid you do his work upon the earth?
He did.
And you bound yourself to his service. Come in, woman.
Ah, John, you are well then, eh?
Courage, man, courage. Let her witness your good example, that she may come to God herself. Now say on, Mr. Proctor, and hear it, goody nurse. What were his demands, Mr. Proctor?
Oh, John.
He did.
Woman, surely you see it profit nothing to keep this conspiracy any further. Will you confess yourself with him?
Oh, John, God send his mercy on you.
I say, woman, will you confess with him?
Why? It is a lie! It is a lie! How have I done myself? I cannot. I cannot.
Mr. Proctor, when the devil came to you, did you see goody nurse in his company? her sister, Mary Easty, with the devil?
No, I did not.
Did you see Martha Corey with the devil?
No, I did not.
Did you see anyone with the devil?
I did not.
You mistake me, sir. I'm not entitled to trade your life for a lie. Now, you must have seen some person with the devil. A score of people have confessed that they saw this woman with the devil.
It is proved. Why must I say it?
Why must you say it? Why? You should rejoice to say it. If your soul is truly purged for any love for hell.
These people think to go like saints. I like not to spoil their names.
And do you think they go like saints, Mr. Proctor?
This woman never thought she did the devil's work.
It matters nothing what she thought. She is convicted of the unnatural murder of children. And you presenting your spirit out upon Mary Warren. Your soul alone is the issue here, mister. And you will prove its whiteness, or you cannot live in a Christian country. Now what say you, sir? Did you see this woman with the devil?
I speak my own sins. We cannot judge another. But have no time for it.
Excellency, it is enough. He confessed himself. Let him sign it. Let him sign it.
It is a great service, sir. It is a weighty name. It will strike the village. The proctor confess. I beg you. Let him sign it. The sun is up, Excellency.
Come then. Sign your testimony. Give it to him. Come, man. Sign it.
You've all witnessed it. It is enough.
You will not sign it.
You've all witnessed it. What more is needed?
Do you sport with me, mister? Sign it.
Oh, praise be to the Lord.
If you please, sir.
No.
You will give it to me.
No. No. I've signed it. You receive it. It is done. You have no need for this.
Proctor, the village must...
Down the village! I confess to God and God has seen my name on this. It is enough.
No, sir.
You came to save my soul, did you not? Yeah. I confess myself. It is enough.
No, sir. You're
I
not...
confessed myself. Is there no good penances but it be public? God does not leave my name nailed upon the church. God sees my name. God knows how black my sins are. It is enough.
Mr. Proctor!
I will not use me. I am no Sarah Good or Teacher Boy. I am John Proctor, and you will not use me. It is no part of salvation that you should use me.
I do not mean to use...
I have three children, sir. May I teach you to walk like men in this world, and I sold my friends.
You've not sold your friends!
Beguile me not, I blacken all of them. The day this hangs to the church, the very day they hang for silence.
Mr. Proctor, I must have good and legal
Oh,
proof!
you're on the high court, your word is good enough. Tell them I confessed myself. Say Proctor broke to his knees and he wept like a woman. Say what you will, but my name you cannot.
It is the same, is it not? If I report it or you sign
No,
it.
it is not the same. What I sign and what they say and what I sign is not the same.
Why? Do you mean to deny that confession when you're free?
I mean to deny nothing.
Then explain to me why you will not let me have...
Because it is my name! Because I cannot have another in my life! Because I lie and I sign myself to lies! Because I have not put that dust on the feet of them you hang. How may I live without my name? I have given you my soul, now leave me my name!
Is that document a lie? If it is a lie, I will not accept it. I do not deal in lies, mister. Now, you will give me your honest confession in my hand, or I cannot keep you from the rope. Which way do you go?
Proctor! Proctor!
Man, you will hang, you
I
cannot!
can. And there's your first marvel, I can. You have made your magic now, for I do think I see some shred of goodness in John Proctor. It's not enough to weave a banner with, but it's white enough to keep it from such dogs. Give them no tear. Tear's pleasure. Show honor now. Show a stony heart and sing them with it.
Let you fear nothing. Another judgment waits us all.
Hang them high over the town. Whoever weeps for these weeps for corruption.
God bless you, John Proctor.
Come, man.
Good Proctor! Go to him! Go to him, there is yet time! Proctor! Proctor!
Woman, plead with him. Woman, it is pride, it is vanity. Be his helper. What profit him to bleed? Shall the dust praise him? Shall the worms declare his truth? Go to him. Take his shame away.
You have his goodness now. God forbid I take it from him.